And there we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the last episode of Morning Mindset in September. It is September 29th, 2023, and here we are on this fabulous Friday. I hope you're all doing well. It's looking like it's going to turn into a pretty nice time this weekend. We got like 80s on the way, so it's chilly here this morning. It was in the high 50s, and hey, which calls for a sweatshirt. I made sure the laces were straight, so I didn't get any grief for that. So we should be good. So, what is morning mindset? This is what I need from you. I need to know who you are, where you're from, what the weather is like in your area, and what is in your cup. It was low or high 50s here. We got a white monster. We are in the Quad Cities. The biggest thing, and the thing I hope you take away most from this, is setting your day up for success. How do you do that? 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? For us, we write a list every day before we are out of here of what we still need to do for tomorrow, and then we can make our 5 off of that. So things that we need is we got web stores to build out, we've got invoicing to do, DTF needs to get done, stickers that need to get printed out, and we need to place some orders for some supplies. So those are our 5 things that we need to do here. In addition to that, we talk a little business. We talk a little about what's going on in our business, what's going on in your business. We're here to help. We're here to communicate with each other and to build everybody up. That's what our goal is here. So check in this morning. Let me know what you're doing, who you are, all of that fun stuff. We'll start with Darren. Darren, good morning to you. It is 68 there in Topeka, so you're way warmer than us. Mountain Dew in the cup. 5 things. Find all the pieces for the shop tents. Start putting them up. Order supplies. That is a great thing when you have to find stuff. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. Good morning to you there, Barb, from north central Minnesota. We're at 61 with rain starting soon. Cloudy and water in the cup. T-Town, good morning to you. We're at 62 out there in Toledo, and nothing to drink yet. We're gonna look at that sticker, T-Town. We're gonna look at that and see where we're on with it. And Barb's 5 things. She's got quotes. She's got invoicing. She's got a clean embroidery area, embroider hand towels, and work on website attributes spreadsheet. I nailed that part. Yeah, I did. Good morning, Renee, from a 60 Foggy. I don't know why I said floggy. 60 foggy Chicago. And water in the bottle, coffee in the tumbler. Good morning, Brian. No idea what the weather is because I haven't left the shop in 2 days. Sick employees are killing me. Oh, yeah. That's not good, man. It's not good. But you're getting it done because you're the man, right? You're the man. You're getting it done. And September 29th today, last harvest supermoon of 2023. Good to know, Barb. What's that mean? It's super big, super bright. What is the supermoon, right? That's the big one, right? It's supposed to be in the 90s. Woo! Yeah, I think we're getting into the 80s. And Renee's 5, write up orders, finish and photo sign that she made yesterday, my father-in-law's birthday, pack, drive to Wisconsin, hug my daughter. Well, that sounds like an amazing Friday. Well, right now, we're getting pool stuff put away. They're coming to finally close it. No one was probably swam in 3 weeks, just wasting money. Only time to close it. But so I haven't swam in our pool in, I think we figured out like 3 years, 2 or 3 years. I don't know. But, hey, I'll throw chemicals in it. I'll do all that. And that's what I said this weekend. We're finally closing the pool. I'm like, it's 80 degrees going to be from the exterior. Do you want to get it? But it's cold because it's been cold. So I said, yeah, we'll just close it. So that's on the tap for this weekend, which, yeah, it is Friday. So what is everybody's plans for this weekend? I'm finally going to put my Father's Day present together. I was hoping to get some cement poured and it's just not working out the way. So I said, I'm going to get it put together so that way I can use that this weekend. We're also, we've got soccer tomorrow. Soccer, I think it's 11 game, and 11 games always just because it's like late morning, early afternoon. By the time you get out of there and I'd rather have it way early, much earlier than later. But we've got that. We've also got the best football game in the world in Bears Broncos on Sunday, so that should be amazing to watch. And that's our weekend. I'm gonna work a little on the business. That's when I usually do that most, is on the weekends. Is when I'm working on it. I'll take an hour or 2 to do that. 100 million leads is here. 100 million offers says it's going to be delivered today, so I will sync up both of those and be able to start doing that. Which, remember, we do have a group that we're using to discuss those in it. So if you want to be a part of that, just let me know. Reach out to me. We have the links in our private group, so you're able just to go join that one. That's all we're going to talk about. There is, the the theory behind it, the information in it, what you're doing with it in your business, how it can help yours, things you have questions on. It's going to be a big discussion thing. So hopefully we can do a lot of good things there this weekend. Darren said, I've stalled on putting up the tent since I moved to a new house for a multitude of reasons. Yeah, we all do that, right? I may pour the rest of my mother's countertop this weekend. She was very happy and proud of you, and that she posted and tagged you. So it's always good when you can make your mama proud. Race to the bottom of football. That's right. Let's find another quarterback we can ruin. Yeah, that's the goal for it. T-Town, things for me to do today. Working on late spiritware orders to get done. Embroider a dozen hats. Hoping. I'm like hoping printer and labels come sooner than later, and set that up. That sounds awesome. And Brian said one of the soccer directors asked our 6-year-old if she wanted to play. Do I have to get up Do I have to get up early? Then no. Yeah. So for us, like, I prefer early games. Because we can get in and out of there. Like, you give me a 9 o'clock game, I'm good to go. By the time 11 o'clock rolls around, it's just, especially depending on the time of year. Fall, we can get that where it can be total garbage out there, and you're just like, I just want to get this done and over with. And long ago we would do travel soccer when Dre was a youngin'. We would do that, and I do not miss that at all. I do not miss being at fields at 7 a.m. and not leaving until 7 p.m. and going through the 4 different sets of clothes between the t-shirts, the long sleeves, the crew necks, the hoodies, the shorts, the pants, the coveralls, the blankets. Yeah, I don't miss that. But when it's in the morning, then I can move on from it. So yeah, you should get out there and do it. Let's see. Here's what we got. Okay, so let's start with a few things. First, we're gonna check out label on hat. There it is. And you can see it's starting to come up maybe just a little. I'm going to touch it and see if it goes down at all, but you can see where it's maybe looking like it's come up a little. I mean, definitely not coming up. That one has been good to go, but this one, maybe a little. So let's press right there. And yeah, it did. So, this one's been on here. What day did we do this? Did we do it on Monday? And, it's holding up decent. That other one where we had pulled it off and on a few times, that one is coming up. That one's coming up pretty much. But that was one that we had pulled off and on multiple times and pulled the stickiness from it. So far, so good. We'll see how those continue to play out and see what we got there. Maybe McMahon can come out of retirement. What's going on? What am I missing? What for retirement for what? My Rolo and labels will be here today, probably set up and test this weekend. I love ours. We've been using it strong for 5 years now, and it's always done it. What brand embroidery machine does everybody have? I have none. I know people in here with Rakomas. I know there's people in here with ZKS, and I know there's people in here that have the Melcos. So we'll see what else everybody has Monday. So yeah, being in there for that, and that's what it came off a little. Well, I think it's not bad for what it is. So we can't wait to see how your results come from. So let's talk about jobs, right? Yesterday I had we've been going back and forth on meetings on this project for I don't know, a week and a half. And you ever have those where you ask customers questions so you can provide them with the everything that they need, and they just seem to gloss over like big parts of the questions and don't give you all the information, and you just keep going and going and going. And so from a timeline that started at about 6 weeks is now down to like 3 weeks. Well, yeah, that's a big thing. And so it's like continuously asking, hey, what about this? What about this? What style this? What that? At the end of yesterday, we kind of, in one way, it hurts my gut to say it, but in another way, it makes me feel super proud that we didn't do it because we didn't take on that stress. We bowed out of roughly about a $25,000 job yesterday. It was something that it was for. I'm not sure how much I can say. because there was, some information there, but it was for a con, one of those type of cons, and there was shirts, there was hats, there was tumblers, there was wine glasses, there was all kinds of stuff, and hundreds of pieces of stuff. And 6 weeks ago, it sounded like yes, we could do this, but getting more and not getting the answers that you needed, not getting the product that was needed, not just there was a lot of missing pieces to it. And so I said, we need to have this stuff, ASAP, so that way we can, get going on it. We can see here's what we did, but we can't do that unless you get us the information so we can give you a proper quote on the job, because it is going to take a minute, right? And so, after going back and forth and back and forth, and we talked to the other person that we're collaborating on this, because we're going to do part of the job, they would do part of the job. We're saying which way, who can help out. I'm like, I said, sometimes there's those customers that you just need to say no to, and that's what I feel we need to do at this point. They hopefully maybe they can find somebody else to deal with, but in this amount of time, it just wasn't reasonable to do. And when we started looking at what things were gonna, how long things were gonna take, how much time it was there, there was a lot that was gonna go into it. And when I finally said I'm gonna just run the numbers based on the limited information that we had, and it was just under 25,000 was what this job was gonna bill out, which could be amazing. There was great profit in it. Everything was there. Perfect to go into it. For finish off the third quarter, going to the fourth, because when we get back here on Monday, we're starting fourth quarter, baby. So Monday we'll talk about goals and see where everybody is sitting with it. But to have that, where here's a 25K order just that you just walk away from, it sucked, because it was like that could have been a great job, but at the same time, because of the lack of communication, because of everything that came along with it, because of what we're going to need there, I didn't want to stress ourselves out over it. I didn't want to stress the other person out over it. I didn't want to create a process that wasn't going to be profitable, because it was like, here, we need this, because there was a lot, it was custom pieces on a lot of it. So it wasn't just, oh yeah, we've done stuff like that before. It's this, we need to, spend some time developing this. We know we can do it, but it is for this template, for that, it was going to take some working and some stuff around. And it just wasn't going to, it just did not make sense to me to put that much stress on ourselves when we had plenty of time when we asked the first question 3 weeks ago. So it was weird. So I got to say, where have you been? What's an order that you've turned down like that, where, and it doesn't have to be, a $25,000 one. It could be a $25 order one. It can be, it can be any size, but things like that, when you start getting in there, that, if you misquote something and say it takes you, 10 minutes longer than what was there, and there's, 1,000 pieces of stuff, that's 10,000 minutes. That really adds up really quick. So, that's where you need to know your numbers. You need to know your processes. You need to know how long something takes. And for a lot of it, we could, but there was a big chunk of this where it was like, you're not giving this information. And when we don't have this information, we can't do it. So it was liberating to say, hey, we had a meeting, this is everything it was. And then to say, yeah, we need to bow out. And, it would have been nice, but at the same time, it would have been not nice enough for that. So, hey, if you've done something like that, let me know. Let me know what you've done like that. Like I said, then let me know what you've got working on for this weekend. So let's see what we got here. T-Town says, I have a TC 1501. And what is that? Is that a Racoma? Brian has an SWF. Their distributor is 2 hours away. That was my determining factor. Brian brings up a great point here. It doesn't, to me, it does, yes, there can be some equipment that's better than others, but it really comes down to the service behind it. How far is a tech away? How soon can a tech get out? What's their support on the back end of it? Because you could have the greatest thing, but if there's no support and nobody can get to you, that kind of sucks stuff up. Oh yeah. The Bears. The fridge can come back. Jesus, we've been rebuilding since 86, so it just is what it is. we've had a few good runs. They've given us hope, but I think right now we're not going to win for a year, and then we can go on from there. We'll win. We'll win after we break that year mark. I think is what we're going to go with. And Barb says to Darren that she has two of what are those? I am going to pronounce this wrong. Avance? Is that what it is? Avance? Or is it Avinci? What is that? Multi-needle. 2, a 1501C and a dual head at 1502. Private label of Racoma. So there, Racoma on that. And Minnesota Wild won yesterday. Well, there you go. Anytime hockey is rocking, it's got to be good. I think we'll get the kids to a hockey game this year. That's my plan. Brian says he's turning down a 3,000-piece job for a national organization. They want pricing, but have no details on what we're printing on the shirts. Yeah, and like that, it's like you don't want to turn down jobs. We don't want to turn down jobs. We want to be able to bid profitable jobs, and we want to make money. But when they're giving you no information on it, and they just expect you just to know that, it's tough. They can make or break it when you're like, okay, this is what you have in your head and this is what you assume it's going to be, and then on their side they don't, and it's completely different. You could be setting yourself up for failure. It takes one of those jobs and it could crush a business. So that's why getting all the information as much as possible, everything in paper. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's what's going on with it. Here's the timelines. Here's what's required before the job is done. It just makes sense. And when you have to push any of that stuff gets pushed around, it makes for a muddy mess. And I'm not down with that. And Brian said, my local ZSK vendor was horrible at service in the past, so I don't even ask for a quote. There you go. When you have a vendor that is horrible, and that kind of adds a lot to it as well. So you have to look at that. This week, what do we got? So I said this weekend we've got. I'm going to get something put together. We've got soccer. We're going to get the pool closed. We've got football on Sunday. I think we might even do Halloween decorations this weekend, since it is going to be October on Sunday, and it is going to be 80 degrees out. That makes a lot of sense. So I do believe we're going to try and pull those out and see what we got there. Other than that, a pretty relaxed weekend. There's nothing like big, looming. There's nobody going out of town. There's nothing doing any of that sort. So that's a plus for us. Next week, orders or jobs already on the books. So that's nice. There's nothing huge, but hey, there's work. It looks like most every day. So I do enjoy that. DTF transfers are going well. Stickers are picking back up again. Temporary tattoos are going awesome. So thank you all for those orders. As Darren does not like to hear, we really do appreciate it. We appreciate those orders. It keeps us doing what we do. Hey, that's how we can do this. I can take a time out. I can spend 5 hours a week with you guys here, and it's just for what? Just for me to do, right? But overall, I think we've got set up for some stuff on there. Monday's show, I'll post in the group. It might be Wednesday's show, so that way I can kind of promote it Monday, Tuesday. We're going to revisit the goals, because we are going into fourth quarter. So we want to see where everybody's goal is for that, what their goals have been for the year, and have things had to adjust. Ours, completely took a 180 from the goals that we set at the beginning of the year, just because of everything that happened in that first quarter. It rolled over from that. I do believe we're still going to, the number that we had for last year for sales, it does look like we're going to crush that number, which is awesome when you're able to do that. But remember, a high number, the top number doesn't really matter. It's that bottom number. Did we make more in profit, or did we keep the same in profit and, other things happen? Like maybe we brought in more stuff. So, payments went out to bring in new stuff. So even though the profit was here, more equipment came in. There's things to look at, but it looks like we're, on track for all of that. And it looks like we're going to have a fantastic fourth quarter. Tuesday with Todd, I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. I know somebody had brought up a topic of, something to talk about on a future episode. Maybe it was T-Town, but I don't remember what it was. So I'm going to go back and see if I can find that. But right now, I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do for that one. Let's see. Darren said, priced a bunch of custom boxes and lost my A because price of wood went up because of COVID, and he refused most of them. Learned a lot. Oh, And that's what sucks. When you lose, when you base prices off of this and things go up like that, that's when the reasons where if you get a quote from us. So you have a couple options when ordering from us. You can order directly through their website, order up, submit, do everything there, pay for it. The other thing is request quotes. Now, some people, what they'll do, and it's because we've developed that relationship, they'll send everything in a quote because they may have, 4 or 5 multiple orders throughout the day, and then we'll just do one batch, put it all together, invoice them, ship, be done with it. Other ones need a quote, so we'll send out a quote on it. All those quotes expire in 7 days, just because of reasons like that, where we don't know, pricing could change. Pricing isn't going to change drastically, and most times drastically enough in 7 days to make a huge difference, but it can happen. And so that's what we learned was, hey, we got to put a quote on this there, and then they accept the quote, it turns in an invoice, then you pay the invoice, then you get into production. I had somebody yesterday that said, hey, I'm checking on when I should see this, and so I'm like, I don't remember printing this out. I must have screwed something up somewhere. So I went and looked, and I'm like, I don't see an invoice paid for this. So I looked at it, and I'm like, yeah, well, here was the quote from September. It was September 12th. And I said, yeah, you saw the quote, you viewed it, but you never paid the invoice for it. And they're like, well, I thought I'd pay after I got it. I'm like, no, it says right on it. And once you pay, then you go into production. I'm like, oh, well, that probably makes a little more sense, doesn't it? I'm like, yeah, I don't know why. So they went ahead and paid theirs, and then we got it in the queue, so we're able to get it out. But yeah, I stick. I'm a big one that when we send out quotes, it's good for 7 days. Anything longer than that, you need to re-quote because maybe prices did go up on stuff. I am not getting burnt by that anymore. Free, good morning to you, my friend. Darren says, that was the year we went to UV show in Nashville and had to turn around the next day and rush back to deal with the issues. Ugh. What did you think? What did you think of going to UV in Nashville? We missed it this year. It was just we had way too much going on, and the thing that I don't like about it was where they have it at what is the Westin, and it's like rooms are like $350 a night, and so if you're there, you're 4 nights, you're spending a healthy chunk of change on rooms. Training may be great, the parties may be awesome, the knowledge may be priceless, but it just to spend that much on rooms anymore drives me bonkers. And we're running that with Airbnbs now. I don't know if anybody has traveled and did the Airbnbs, but those things have gotten ridiculous in the last 6 months. The cleaning fees on it, everything else, it's like you might as well just stay at a hotel. So there's a couple things that we're looked at where it's like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're staying at a hotel now because it does not make sense to stay at an Airbnb when it once did. I mean, I remember we could get, like a 4-bedroom for $150. And then when you're splitting it between people, it was next to nothing to stay. And now for a 2-bedroom, it's, $200 to $300 a night. Well, what amenities do you have there that I'm able to do? Or if not, you're just staying at the hotel. Today, I got to get orders out. I got to try and sneak in a meeting this afternoon. Fridays I try and keep it a little lighter. Reason being is so when we come to scheduling stuff, I don't ever schedule anything on a Friday, production wise. And the reason being is if something drags out or say there's a shipping issue or something, we have that time on Friday to correct that issue and get it taken care of. DTF will still print, temporary tattoos will still print, all the print wide format printing side of things, all that stuff still continues on its normal timelines. But when it comes to actually like production of shirts, things like that, Fridays we take the day off from that, unless it is a rush order that somebody has paid for. That way, it allows me to, as soon as this gets done, do as much production as I can while we're watching our other friends in their doing their podcast today. We have 2 regular guys. We have the Take Up. We have Alan and Marshall. So you have a good day of training. So we'll have those on while we're doing that. And then, by noon, we like to call it a day, as far as working on the business or working in the business. Now, I'll still work on the business. I'll still, like looking at my big list, there's still social media stuff to do. I've got my social media calendar that I need to get taken care of for October to get everything scheduled out there for it. There's marketing stuff that we need to work on. So there's stuff that we need to do, and that's what I try and do on Friday. Set up meetings, do that type of stuff for it. Let's see. I told that he'll tell my mom got rushed to the hospital or something. They refund me my stay. Well, that's not that. That is nice there. Um, Darren says I was definitely impressed with everything he can do. It's giving me a lot to think about and not just impulse buy. Oh, like a plasma table. I hear ya. I haven't bought a plasma table. I've been looking at a plasma table. I've been looking at like the little guy. What is it? The Langmer. What is it? 2 or 3 thousand, maybe 4,000. I said, we could really have some fun with that. And yeah, I have not pulled the trigger on it. One day, I'm going to pull the trigger on it, but we got to get other stuff taken care of first before I do that. But I totally get there with that with you. I was this year. What was it when we got back from APA? I was ready to, it was 45,000 for that UV printer, and I was ready to do it. And our accountant said, do you really want to do that? Like, listen, you can do it. I'm not telling you no. But what I'm telling you is when you run the numbers, you're not doing anything with it currently. You're not subbing anything out. You're not bringing anything in there. So you are going to build the business around a payment as instead of letting the payment come from a business you built. And I 100% agreed with that. And I said, yeah, but it's another service we can offer to our already existing clientele, things that we can UV print. And they had a great thing. They said, well, what if they've not? Where's this time coming from? So, it was a gut check to be told no, but that's what you have to do, because thank God that happened, because with everything that happened there, shortly after that, what would I have done then? It's like now I've got to find a new home for a piece of equipment. We're already strapped for space, and to do all that, I'm thankful that we didn't do it, but I still want it. I still want that flatbed UV like it is nothing. I'm looking. So if anything comes back in house, it'll be the roll-to-roll UV printer for the UV DTF transfers. I think that's what I got to get on a call Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. We're getting on a call just to see where everything is, see if they've got new ones set up and running, so we can go down and take a look at them and then go from there. So soon-ish, maybe we'll go from there. And everyone's laughing at you, Darren. They're laughing with you, not at you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. No, it is not. We don't even have it yet. That's what I was just talking about. I think, we're going to get on a call with them on Tuesday just for an update and see where things are for it. Yeah, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes it just takes a while to figure out what that reason is. Absolutely. Like, I talked to somebody last night, and these are, I don't know if how many people know that, but behind the scenes, I bet on average 7-10 phone calls that I take with people, just talking to them about their business. And in no way, shape, or form am I, a business expert. I know what I know. I know what I've done and screwed up with. I know how to get better at it. I know for us to scale what we need to do for it. We're just at that stage. Is it worth us doing? If we're happy and comfortable with what we're doing, do we need to scale more to do more? And what does that look like? How is that going to work? That includes more employees, more equipment, more whatever. And so, you really have to look at what your goal is for it. Well, I talked with somebody last night, and they have a DTG, and when they need DTF stuff, they're using that to print. And they said that, for bigger orders that they're ordering in transfers, which, hey, that's the way to do it. But they said, that they want to save money and they want to buy a DTF printer. And I said, well, do you have somebody extra just standing around all day? And they said, no. I said, okay, do you have the business to hire somebody to stand around with the machine all day? And they said, no. I said, then you don't want a DTF printer. I'm like, unless you're printing, 100, 150 feet continuously every day, don't get it. Order transfers. The amount of cost savings just isn't worth it. When you really look at the numbers and what it really costs you to produce your own, it's just not worth it. They're not like a wide format printer where you can just set that baby on print and walk away, and it's just going to take care of business, because it's got sensors to tell you if something gets, a head strike, or if something gets caught or something isn't there. This thing, it don't care. It's just going to keep chomping away, and at a cost of $1,500 a head. Yeah, you're talking about a 4-head machine. Yeah, let that happen one time. and that's a $6,000 gut check that you screwed up. So, sometimes just because you think you can do something cheaper doesn't mean you should or you can. And it was, hopefully it was an eye-opening, experience for him. I told him, here's everything we ran into with ours. Here's things that, we would do different. Here's why we did it. And for us, the main reason for DTF is, we were going through, anywhere 2 to 3 rolls a week of HTV for printed HTV, because where our niche was those small run items, where they needed full color small runs. You didn't have a whole lot of options, because screen printing wasn't going to do it because too many colors in it. And the other option was, a printed HTV. And, okay, we can do that for you, print cut, here it is. And, we were rocking and rolling with it. But when DTF started coming in more and more, we started to see that there was going to be a shift in the market, and that printed HTV was going to be the one that was going to go. That's about the only thing that DTF would kill out, is something like that. And so that's why we had to do it, because it was a good chunk of our business. So we needed to make sure we did it. Now, here's some other stuff where, things come and go, you're moving in and out, but that's one that definitely took a big loss on. But DTF, supplemented that, and that became the primary for it. So we had to change with the times. So there's times you have to change with the times. There's other times you don't have to. You can just stay and do what you're doing and not have to work at it. I'm looking too hard. To pick brand. Oh, are you doing roll or flatbed? Which one are you doing? Are you doing, so you can do the UV DTF? A flatbed will do UV DTF. You just got to put the sheets in there and do it. I think the UV flatbed is going to give you more options to do more things, because you can print directly on it. Yes, you can do transfers and then put it on there, but that's what I was looking at for it. It says, "Oh, I laugh at myself about it. It's fun when it runs, but I definitely try to build the business around the machine." This is before I found all you guys and learned so much. Well, see, we've learned so much from everybody there. Now we just got to figure out a way to get that bad boy up and running. And Darren, I really feel like if you were to focus October on that machine and just doing the metal signs of the personalization, with whether it's the tree and the name or the initials and things like that, just did 5 products. Here's what it is. Do it from there. I bet you could have, a good fourth quarter on it. Throw a couple extra thousand in your pocket for it, and then come next spring, and even fall right now, because you've got that where we saw is you get the it was in the fire rings. That's when we had it at the HVAC shop. That's what I've seen, because fall fire. Hey, I can do custom fall ring. I can cut all the pieces for the tables, or for the fire tables, things like that. So I bet we could get something in there. I bet we could. I know we could. Now I want to challenge that to see what it is. Damn it, Darren. See, now I'm trying to develop a business for you, and I'm not even down there to play, because if you were here, like, let's play. Let's see what we got. There. All right. I'm going to get out of here. We got stuff to do. Like I said, the only way this gets done is if I get off my ass and do it, right? That goes for all of us. We gotta put in the work. Make your list of 5. Get your stuff done today. We'll be back Monday, new month, fourth quarter. Next Wednesday, we'll talk fourth quarter goals. So you get those set. I'll make sure to repost the link for those in the group. Also on, what else was there? There was something else in there. We'll figure out Tuesday's show. I don't know what it's going to be yet, so hopefully you guys can give me some ideas between now and then, and we can talk about that. Maybe it's just idea, fourth quarter ideas, things like that, because now that we'll be in it and what you're going to do with it. Because there's that show, because then in 2 weeks, we're going to talk, we'll have Bob back in, and we'll be talking marketing. So we'll be able to rock all through it. All right, you guys have an amazing day. We're going to get over here and get that ready. So peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next time.